Guys, when we start, please don't talk. And when Miss Jennifer comes up here, y'all better give it up for her. Miss Jennifer is the reason some of y'all passing your classes. Y'all better give it up for her. She's the reason some of y'all eligible. All right, guys.
Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to Matt Ridge's Davidson-Davie Community College Coaches Show. Tonight we're coming to you live, as we normally do, from Brinkley Gym right here on the campus of DDCC. We've got a great show, as always, this evening, Coach. We're going to talk about the two games you've had since the last Coaches Show, get your thoughts on where we stand as we head down the final stretch of the regular season. Jalen Wilkerson, Javier Ortiz going to be our featured player interviews tonight. And Jennifer Campbell going to be our special guest this evening. Jennifer is the student-athlete academic advisor here at DDCC. So we're excited to have Jennifer with us this evening. We want to remind you that you can ask Coach Ridge or any of our players or guests a question. We'll be tracking all that via the Facebook feed here. Before we start, though, I just want to wish you a day late happy birthday, Coach. Yesterday, a big day for you.
My grandfather used to say it's better than the alternative.
Exactly.
But I am very appreciative that Miss Jennifer came out tonight and made the trip to be on the Coaches Show. She's a huge part of our inside of our circle and helping these young men be successful in the classroom. She does tons of things behind the scenes with study halls, setting up their classes, and all sorts of things I'll let her talk about. But excited to having two freshmen on the show tonight, and Jay Wilk and Javier as well.
Well, you guys are 18-1 now, 10-0 in conference play, and today I guess the rankings were released, the NJCAA rankings. You guys moved up to number 2 in the country. I think Kirkwood lost last Wednesday, so you're second in the country. Congratulations on that. Conference games since our last Coaches Show. Let's take a look at those now. We've got 10 regular season games left to play before tournament play starts. But we were on the road January 19th facing the second place at the time, Bulldogs of Pitt. And they were coming off a conference loss the night before they played you guys. They lost to Catawba Valley 88-83 and maybe gave them a little motivation heading into that Sunday game. But you guys led at the break 44-33. Talk about how the team came out to start that game, and what were some things you felt you did really well to build that 11-point halftime lead?
Well, I thought we started off really locked in mentally, defensively. I thought we were beating them to spots, forcing them into bad jump shots, forcing them into contested jumpers, and getting out in transition. We forced a few turnovers as well. I think we started off the game on a pretty big run, which was awesome because without that big run to start the game, we don't even probably win that game because they obviously came back in the second half. But I really was impressed with how mentally we were locked in defensively. We were a step quicker than them, I thought, to start the game. I wish we could have sustained that for 40 minutes, but Pitt did a great job there in the second half.
Well, in the second half, you guys they went out on a 16-2 run and jumped out to a 70-52 lead. No lead is too safe, right? I mean, Pitt got back in the game. They went on a 16-2 run, I think, to get back in the game. What were some things they were able to do down the stretch to get back into the game?
You got to tip your hat to them. They were playing really aggressively defensively when they went to that press. We got careless offensively. I don't know if we looked up at the scoreboard and thought the game was over, but we had some god-awful passes, which led to transition buckets for them. Then they got hot from the perimeter, hit a few threes. So on our end, we turned the ball over. We missed a bunch of free throws that we normally make by two of the best free throw shooters in the country. That's not typical of us. We've been working on our presso almost every day in practice since then. Going into that game, I had done a poor job of prepping for that, and that's on me. So since then, we've been working on our press offense. But we survived their run and still won the game, which was the goal. And I told the guys in the locker room, Coach Smith used to say, when you play poorly and still win, it's a blessing that you can learn while you're winning and didn't play your best. And that's what the good Lord gave us that opportunity that night.
Well, Lamonte Cowser continues to improve as we get further into the season. He had a good game that night, 29 points, 28 minutes of play. And, Lamonte was one of our player guests the last show, and he talked about some of the tough conversations that you and he had in the early goings of his career here at the school. How has Lamonte grown in his first year with the club?
He's grown up between his ears as much as anybody in our program. He continues to grow. Just today I had lunch with Tim Gwillow, and I was talking right after lunch with Kevin Egan. As you well know, Kevin does our stats, analytical stats, along with, of course, Manuel over here. But he told Kevin over the weekend, or maybe earlier today, I can't remember which, that coach is all over us, but it's to help us grow, and it's what we need to continue to grow. And early on, I'm not so sure he would have had that mentality. So I'm really proud of his growth in terms of handling coaching, handling criticism in the right way, not taking it personal, and understanding it's what we're trying to do to make him better. He has improved his self-discipline. He's continued to work on that as well in terms of not driving in trouble, turning the ball over, making good decisions. We wouldn't have won the game at Pitt without him. I mean, not just the game winner, obviously, there at the end, but he had 29 points in 28 minutes.
Well, you had 20 turnovers in that game. Pitt had 21, but I think the difference is you're able to get 31 points off of those turnovers versus 20 for the Bulldogs. Talk about your ability, the team's ability to finish and capitalize off those turnovers that your defense forced.
Well, we really talked a lot going into the game, and especially at halftime, to attack, and not settle for jump shots. I thought we did a really good job of that. In addition to that, the thing that I'm most impressed with recently, not just at Pitt, but this past Saturday, is us sharing the ball, making the extra pass. I mean, this past weekend, I know we're not talking about Saturday yet, but Ethan had 11 assists and only 2 turnovers. But in that particular game at Pitt, late in the game, we would get a deflection steal, and if you guys made that extra pass, they could have forced up a shot, but passed up a good for a teammate to get a great shot.
Well, Pitt, a strong team. I think many of us kind of were a little surprised that they had lost the night before to Catawba Valley. Coming into that Sunday game with them, did you think they'd be bringing something a little extra? I mean, you guys always have the target on your chest anyway because of the history of the program and, where you stand right now. But do you feel like that maybe gave them a little bit of a swagger to come back in and prove something?
When I was in Chapel Hill, I took a sports psychology class, and the instructor talked a lot about how the psyche of your brain and how it works coming off a loss. I always tell our guys, you need to play every game like you lost the last 2 mentally and have that edge. So when we play an opponent who just lost, in this case the night before, you really got to be on your guard because if they're competitive, they're going to bring their best because they just lost. They've been humbled. And in terms of coaching kids, they probably don't realize this, but when we usually lose, I don't say a whole lot to them in the locker room because I want to go home, not be emotional, watch the film, and then come back the next day after I've settled down. And Catawba Valley had to play us the next day after a loss on the road. I'm not sure if that travel helped or hurt them, but coming off that loss, I was concerned because I knew they would be hungry. Fortunately, we got off to a great start. They might have had some, leg issues since they had played the night before and they drove 4 hours each way, 8 hours. I'm not so sure. Who knows about that? But from my end as a coach, I told our guys in our meeting the night before, they're going to be humble. They're going to be hungry. They just lost.
Well, you win the game, and you come back to the friendly confines of Brinkley Gym here on Saturday against Southwest Virginia. Now, you guys led the Flying Eagles at the break by 14 points and really then able to really pull away in the second half, 108-76 win. What were some things that you thought the team did really well to defeat what I thought was a dangerous Southwest Virginia team that can score a lot of points?
Our conference, if you look at it top from bottom, there's no gimmies. I mean, Southwest Virginia this year has beat several really good teams in our league. They got several guys that can score at a high level from the perimeter as well as driving it. So you're right. But what I was impressed with, our team, we had 6 players in double figures, so clearly we were sharing the ball. We forced 27 turnovers to our, 12, so there was 15 more possessions we created just by playing hard and getting after it and turning them over. And then, like I said earlier, Ethan had 11 assists and only 2 turnovers. And the best compliment I can give our players, whether it be Javier's energy on the bench or Ethan passing the ball and making his teammates better, is making your teammates better. And that's what Ethan did that night. 11 assists to 2 turnovers is phenomenal.
I thought he saw the floor really well that night. And as I've watched Ethan as we've gone through the year, you can see he's making a lot of progress. I mean, the double-double, the 13 points and 11 assists. He also had 4 steals, a couple of blocks, and only 2 turnovers, like you mentioned. So I think that may have been his best performance of the season.
He was 4 rebounds shy of a triple-double, and he actually, when I took him out the last time, said, "Coach, I'm 4 rebounds away from a triple-double." I said, "Sit down, we're up 30." But, I mean, it's not about any one player. It's about the team, and obviously there's other guys that don't play as much should have been in the game.
Well, we're in the home stretch now with only 9 conference games left. You got the scrimmage with UNC, the UNC JV team coming up in February as part of those intermingled in the conference games. And we've got not all the team here tonight, so where do we stand from a health perspective?
We have 3 guys sick. KT's not here tonight. He's sick. Lamonte's battling some issues, and Kobe's at the house. So all 3 of those guys are sicknesses going around. We tell these guys, you need to wash your hands, get plenty of sleep, drink plenty of water, et cetera. Do the things to stay healthy because we need everybody. And this time of year, sickness is going around.
Well, you guys, again, as we mentioned at the start of the show, number 2 in the nation now, and you are standing atop the conference rankings. Walk us a little bit through the conference right now. Let's see where we all stand.
Well, you got Bryant Stratton right behind us with only 2 losses in the league play, and they're receiving votes in the polls as well. And then you got 4 teams with 3 losses: Catawba Valley, Pitt, Lewisburg, and Cleveland. All 4 of those are capable of beating anybody on any given night. They're extremely talented. And then you got Guilford Tech right behind them, Central Carolina, Southwest Virginia, and Fayetteville Tech. I mean, Fayetteville Tech's towards the bottom of the current standings, but in my opinion, they're capable of beating anybody, including us, if we don't show up Wednesday night. So, it's as balanced as it's ever been, in my opinion. You got one of the best coached teams in Region 10 at the bottom, which I don't think they'll stay there very long. I'm just hoping they don't find a way to win Wednesday night.
Yeah, we need to keep them off the win column Wednesday for sure. 3rd year in a row now, the D2 Region 10 conference is going to be hosted by Cape Fear Community College. What's the format of that tournament this year? Are all the teams going to qualify for that?
So this year is unique because once the tournament starts at Cape Fear, the former head coach and current athletic director, Ryan Mantlow there, he's actually going to be running 2 tournaments that weekend. So we'll play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but prior to the tournament starting at Cape Fear, there'll be 2 games. They're called play-in games on Monday. That's March the 3rd, I believe. And those will be held at the higher seed. I believe the 7 will be playing the 10, and the 8 will be hosting the 9 seed. 7 will host the 10 seed. And then once those games are, the winners win and advance to Cape Fear, then you'll have 8 teams playing 3 days for the regional district championship at Cape Fear. 4 games on Wednesday, the semis, 2 games on Thursday, and the finals Friday at 7 o'clock on Friday night.
And a lot at stake for the winner of that tourney.
Yep. Our region only gets 1 automatic berth, and it's the winner of that tournament. So regardless of how you finish in the regular season, you have to win the districts unless you were fortunate enough to get one of the 4 at-large berths around the whole country.
Well, as we do each show, we have a special guest here. As I mentioned, Jennifer Campbell is with us tonight. But before we bring Jennifer up, we're going to bring up our player interviews. So Jalen Wilkerson is going to be our first guy up. Welcome, Jalen, 6'1", first-year guard out of Kernersville, North Carolina, Walkertown High School, averaging 5.9 points a game, 1.7 rebounds so far this season for the Storm. You got 17 steals and shooting a very impressive 84.6% from the free throw line. So most recently, I think a 12-point performance against Pitt on the road. You were 3 of 3 from beyond the arc, 3 of 3 from free throw line, and then you started the game out on Saturday, man. You nailed 2 3-pointers right out of the gate and had 8 points in the first half, so a really good game from your perspective against Southwest. Now, I want to talk a little bit about your high school first, Walkertown High School. Mm-hmm. And there you had 20 points a game your senior year. You averaged 20 points a game for the Wolfpack. You guys finished 22-7, I believe. Yep. And made it to the second round of the state 2A playoffs. How did you end up after high school landing with the Storm here?
Well, Coach Rich came to one of my high school games, and after the game he talked to me. He told me, come watch one of our games and see how you like it. I came to a couple open gyms, and I just took the offer.
Did you know of the storm before you came here?
No, I didn't.
Okay, and you were only in Kernersville. You
Yeah.
should have heard. You should have heard about these guys.
Right, yeah.
What did that transition from high school to college ball look like and feel like for you, Jalen?
It was a big transition, just denying every pass, picking up full court for 40 minutes. You know, it was just a big difference from just high school, you know, yeah.
How's the experience been for you so far?
Oh, it's been good. Playing with my teammates, winning games, that's all that really matters.
So still young in your career here, but what's been your favorite experience so far?
My favorite, I really don't have a favorite. I really say my favorite is like I said, just winning games. And our goal is just go to national championship and win. So.
Now, I mentioned at the start your free throw shooting, and you're 84+% from the line. How much practice time do you spend each day shooting free throws?
Oh, recently I've been in the gym a lot. I get up 1,000 shots a day. In between classes, I try to get up as many shots as I can.
So you are getting 1,000 shots in a day?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
All right, good deal. I know that makes the coach happy.
Sir.
Your role on this team, what do you feel your role on this team is?
Well, I'm a freshman. I'm really just trying to get the feel of playing college basketball, and I'm just really trying to figure out just through the season.
Where do you think you guys are right now? How do you feel about the current team?
Oh, it's a good group of guys. I love playing with them, love competing with them, and let's get the chip.
Now, you know, the coaching staff here, Coach Ridge, Coach Dumas, Coach Allen, they ask a lot, very demanding for you guys, expect you to work really, really hard. What's your relationship like with Coach Ridge and the other coaches?
Oh, they'll get on you if you mess up, but I know it's just out of love, and they're just trying to help you, and they're just going to push me to the best player I can be.
Now that you're here and you see all the banners in the gym and you hear folks talk about how this program has been so successful over the 18 years that it's been in existence, how do you feel about being part of that elite program?
Oh, it's special, really. Just getting the knowledge from all the coaches and the teammates, getting experience from winning games, and really them pushing me through practice is really helping me.
One thing I'll ask you, Jalen, Jarvis Tillman, former Storm player a few years ago, actually was on the game at halftime with us on Saturday. And one of the things I asked him was, what's it like to play in Brinkley Gym, the history here? He said, we never, in my 3 years here, we never lost a game on this court. Mm-hmm. And I think we've won like 77 or 78 games in a row on this court. What's it like to play on that court?
Oh, it's just a lot of energy. The fans will go crazy, and it's just really just intense every single game. And they love us. They got our back. So, yeah.
Do you guys think about that record, though? Do you guys think, man, we got to protect the home court?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Now, you were also, I wanted to mention this because I think it's a great accomplishment. You were listed on the all-academic team here at DDCC for the fall semester. How do you balance the time that it takes to do that, to be a good student, fulfill your commitment, your academic commitments, but also spend time playing for this basketball team? Because you got to put a lot of time into both, right?
Right, yeah. Just in between classes, I try to get up as many shots as I can, and after practice, I go home, study, and try to do all my work.
Do you have any pregame rituals that you go through on game day?
Nah, not really. I just listen to music and lock in and get ready.
What music do you listen to? What do you?
Rap.
Okay.
Yeah, mainly rap. Yeah.
All right. Do you have a nickname?
Yeah, they call me J Wilk.
Okay. So we got a J Rob and a J Wilk.
Yep.
All right. Well, Jalen, good job. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Well-spoken young man.
Thank you.
Keep having a lot of success and work hard here. All right, Javier, you got to come up and follow that. Javier Ortiz, 6'4", first-year guard out of Durham, Southern Durham High School. He averaged 11 points, 7 rebounds a game during his senior year. You were also all-conference team selection,
yes,
I think, in your last year for the Spartans. You had a great year that last year, 2024. I mean, you guys were 25-5. I think you made it into 4 rounds of the state playoffs.
Yes, sir.
before you Westover ended that for you guys. But I don't want to bring back old memories. But you had a lot of success in high school. You played for a team that won a lot of games. What have you found to be different coming from a successful high school program to this elite college program here?
Honestly, like I felt like I worked hard in high school. Like I thought I was considered to be a dog in high school. But when I got here around these group of guys, like that work was minuscule. Like the intensity that is expected here is just it's a different level.
Outside of high school ball, you also play club ball, I think, for the North Carolina Wildcats.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that club level basketball experience and how did that help your game? And did you play with or against any of your teammates?
I played against David. It was bad, but AAU was fun. AAU was fun. It was a good experience, great energy, hotel nights with the guys. It was just a time to go and showcase your ability in front of college coaches. I feel like I actually met Coach Dumas at a AAU tournament playing with those guys.
Okay.
So it was a blessing to have that experience in front of a lot of different coaches, and it was just a fun time to go out with your friends rather than your teammates and just have a great time.
That meeting with Coach Dumas, is that how you decided to come here?
Yes, sir.
Was that the start of that?
That was around going into my junior year, actually. He seen me at a tournament, and I had a pretty good game. I think I had a double-double that game. And he came up to me immediately after the game. I had a couple coaches talk to me that day, but Coach Dumas was real professional. He kind of stood out to me. He gave me a big pamphlet. It was kind of like organized and structured. And after talking to him and talking to a lot of other guys, they didn't really follow me much my junior year, but going into my senior year, I talked to the coaches a lot and got to meet Coach Riggs more. And yeah, that's kind of what led me here.
Well, we're glad you chose that. Coach Dumas probably on the road recruiting tonight. So you're currently averaging 3.5 points a game, 4 rebounds a game. You got 23 steals on the year, 4 blocks. Most recently, you had a really good game against the GTCC. I think 11 points, a couple rebounds in 23 minutes.
Yes, sir.
In what ways, Javi, do you feel like you've grown during your time here as a member of the Storm?
I feel like I've grown a lot as a man. Like playing under Coach Ridge and Coach Allen and Coach Dumas, like they hold you to a high expectation for basketball, but they hold you to a higher expectation for character. Like your character expectation is like really high, so I feel like I've developed a lot as a man, mentally and emotionally. They got a way of making you stronger as a man, I would say.
What do you feel like your role on this team is?
Coming into the year, honestly, I had really high expectations for myself that I haven't met. I don't want to really blame anything but myself, and I feel like right now I'm just trying to do whatever's best to help my team win. Honestly, like we have a lot of guys scoring a lot of big numbers, and right now my role isn't what I wanted it to be coming into the year, but it's working out for me in a way. I'm helping the guys win. I'm a part of a winning program. Like we have a chance to win a national championship here, and that's something special. So just doing whatever I can to help win, whether that's scoring 3 points and getting 10 rebounds or scoring 10 points and just being a dog. So whatever I can.
Well, I can tell you, watching you this year, I mean, I can tell you don't feel like you have to score the points, but you make a difference when you're on the court, your presence and your hustle. So, you keep that blue-collar attitude and do those things, and you'll be very, very successful.
Yes, sir.
I mentioned the great game you had against GTCC. Now, you've missed the last, I think, 3 games.
Yeah, I've been out. During that game, I had a problem with my elbow where I had a hyperextension, and then the following week I got the flu actually, so I was sick. So I've just been out. It's kind of been a roller coaster. This season's actually been a roller coaster. Early in the season I had appendectomy surgery, so it's kind of just been everywhere, just trying to find my foot in, but yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Jalen about balancing the time to, keep improving as a ball player, but making sure you're honoring your academic requirements here at the school. What does a day in the life of Javi look like here?
As of recently, it hasn't really been nothing special because I was out. Today was actually my first day back in practice, but on the day-to-day, in between classes, like Jay Wook said, you just gotta get in work where you can. Like in between classes, get shots up, come to the gym, stay for a little bit after practice. As far as handling academics and basketball, it's kind of hard. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's easy, but you got to make time where you do. We got a lot of help on this campus. We got people like Miss Jennifer Campbell. We got Mark. We got Mr. Egan. But it's a lot of support around you, so they take the load off, and I just keep my head down and work, whether that's basketball, school, work. You just got to make sure you stay on top of everything.
Give us a little insight on what it's like to be coached by Coach. It's safe up here. You can say anything you want to.
Honestly, it's hard. Coach Red coaches really hard. Like, he coaches really hard, but I embrace it. I feel like he does it because he cares about us. Like, I've had a lot of coaches, like, have good teams, but not necessarily coach the guys hard just because we're talented players. Like, I feel like Coach Riggs is going to bring the best out of you. Like, it's not an option. Like, either you're gonna figure it out or you're going to get weeded out, and that's just the honest truth. He's going to push you, and you're going to have to work and accept it. And if not, you could end up on the outskirts.
So your goals for this team, and then what are your goals after college life here at DDCC?
I want to go on and play the 4-year, wherever that may be. Basketball is kind of all I know. I live, eat, sleep, and breathe basketball. So, like, I want to go to a 4-year and continue to expand my education and my basketball career to the furthest it could be.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about your teammates here? I mean, give us an assessment on where you think the team is at this point in the season.
Honestly, we all have room to improve. Like, you can never be good enough. You could always get better. But these are probably the hungriest group of kids I ever played with. Like, I'm not even going to try to sugarcoat it. These guys are hungry. Like, we get after it. Like, I've always had the stigma of I'm the dog on the team and, like, I'm the dog. Nah, not with these guys. We're all dogs, like 1 through 15. Like, from Lamonte to the end of the bench, like, they're hungry. We get after it every day. We push each other. And that'll just make you better just practicing with these guys. Like, being around this environment, like, I feel like we really can win the national championship just because the hunger that we have. I don't think nobody on this team takes well to defeat, and we all get better every day. Like, sometimes I walk in the gym, whether it's early morning or late after practice, guys are in the gym. Like, it's never an empty gym here, honestly. Like, I've went home, came back, guys are still in the gym. Like, it's just these guys push you to be better because you see that and you're like, yo, I got to do more. Like, my teammates are working. Like, I got to do more. Like, because if not, I'm letting them down. Like, these are my boys. These are really my brothers. Like, I've been a part of a lot of teams where it was like we were all close, but, like, this is genuine family. Like, I could call these guys for anything, and I feel like they would come through. So just being a part of that family, it's just real. It's a different type of love.
Well, you're still part of the family. Even when you leave here, you're going to be part of that too.
Most
So,
definitely.
couple last questions. Pre-game ritual on game day.
I don't really think I have a pregame ritual. We got home games is pregame breakfast. We have a nice. Honestly, we're blessed. We get pre-meal breakfast on home games. Like, I've never seen that nowhere else, especially in the JUCO round. But just like throw my headphones on, lock in, and prepare. I try to get in the gym at least an hour early before we're supposed to be on the court to get some shots up, get warm, get loose. But outside of that, not really.
Do you have a nickname?
Nah, I don't have a nickname.
All right.
The guys just call me Hav.
Hav.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Well, good job. Much success the rest of the year for you guys.
I appreciate
Okay,
that a lot.
thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Javier Ortiz, very nice job. Very nice job. So thanks to both Jalen and Javier for player interviews. And now we're going to bring up Jennifer Campbell, our special guest, as we mentioned before. Jennifer serves as the team's academic advisor here at DDCC. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, thank you.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. It's odd to hear yourself over the speakers here.
It is, and it's big.
Yeah.
They got big heads.
So
Okay.
there you go. So Jennifer, tell us about your work here at the college.
I am an academic advisor. I advise transfer students right now. I just started doing that. I was hired to advise for the 100% online students, and I did that for a little over a year, and then I was recruited to transition into transfer advisor. And I also teach ACA 122.
So how long have you been here?
I've been here for almost 3 years. August will be 3 years.
Okay. How much time do you get to spend with these guys?
I actually spend a lot of time with these guys, some more than others. I am supposed to see them about once or twice weekly. Some I see every day.
So what are those meetings, or what does that engagement look like?
We talk about the courses. We talk about, with a lot of them, I discuss future plans. We talk about just everyday life situations. We talk about Coach Ridge. We talk about a lot.
We're not going to ask you about Coach, but I'm sure you know more than probably we all know. But you know, you hear the cheers when you come up here from these guys sitting over to our right, and what you do means so much to them. How rewarding is it for you to be able to help these young men?
It's very rewarding. You know, as part of my job is to work with, you know, all students, not just them, but I work with all students. And, you know, I do it because that's what I love. I love seeing the positive, you know, at the end of the, I guess, race, you know, seeing how well they did last semester, seeing how they've grown since I met them, because they've all grown quite a bit. So it's very rewarding.
So recently the college announced its all-academic team, and there were 7 women volleyball players, and you know, I mentioned to Jalen, you know, Jalen made that. Also Dylan Cowse, Connell Lowry, Kobe Parker, Dane Stewart were the 5 members of the Storm basketball team. What are some of the challenges you see and that you can help these young student athletes with so they can be successful not only in the classroom but on the court? Well,
I talk to them very often about being what a teammate means, you know, helping each other out, looking out for each other. I often suggest that when they have the same classes, have the same teachers, that they get together and do their work together. They support each other. That's what being a teammate is. So we talk about that quite a bit. And just watching them just support each other. They are friends. They like to do what friends do. But that support, it is there for one another.
Well, I want to ask you this question. Now, you've been here for 3 years, so you've been around the program. What are your thoughts on the program, the basketball program here? Coach Ridge and his coaching staff, they've done a great job in the past 18 seasons, but what are your thoughts on the success that they've had?
Well, I started working with student athletes mid-semester last year. I don't know how I got pulled in. I thought it was temporary, and I'm still here. But I've seen, you know, what Coach does and how he motivates and pushes them. And, you know, I've seen how, you know, at first they don't understand, and then, you know, they get it. You know, they see the bigger picture. So just watching, like I said, the team last year, the team this year, and just how much they grow and how well they end up, you know, doing. And then last year, watching some of the students that moved on to, you know, 4-year institutions and seeing their success, you know, is just awesome. And I know that, you know, if we had those do that last year, that we definitely have some that, you know, that are moving on even this, you know, after this semester.
Well, we got one of those student athletes that moved on watching tonight, and he gives you a shout. He says he loves you, and he misses you, Miss Jennifer, of course. I'm talking about Mike Wade up at Montreat College.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I love you too, Mike.
So do you get a chance to meet regularly with Coach? And tell us about what those meetings kind of look like.
Well, Coach comes to my office probably every day that he's here. Or I'm here. You know, it's always about the students. It's always, you know, he cares about their academics just as much as he cares about what they do, you know, on the court. And that's noteworthy. He's just as concerned about their futures academically, you know, as I am. I stay in my role. My role is academics, but I do support them, you know, in athlete.
Do you get a chance to attend any of the games?
I come to quite a bit of the games, and I sit right with them, and I pluck them on the head and do whatever I got to do to keep them going. I don't like when they fall. They probably hear me screaming. But, yeah, I am here as much as I can be.
They've had a lot of success on the court this year.
Absolutely.
So what do you think about the team? I mean,
I think we have a great team. Some of them just move so they just take over the whole court. I think we have a great team. I think we have a group of boys that work well together. I see them, just motivating each other out on the court too. So, and then we have the ones that, they're in each other's ear. Man, you got this, and so I like watching that.
well, last question for you, Jennifer. What advice do you have or would you have for these young men as they continue on down their life path journey?
I just like to see them stay motivated, whatever it takes to motivate yourselves, because you will face challenges, not just here in school or not just with basketball, just in life in general. Just keep going, keep pushing. Just know that you are your biggest, motivator. You have to motivate yourself. Never give up.
Well, thank you for being a guest with us tonight, but thank you for the work that you do for these young men. It really does make a difference in their lives, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Jennifer Campbell. All right, Coach, we're going to talk real quick our upcoming game on the road. We got one Wednesday at Fayetteville Tech. A team that you guys have beaten once already this year. Tell us a little bit about what that current Fayetteville Tech team looks like and is playing like and what we can expect in that second matchup.
Before I do that, can I just say a couple things about
absolutely.
our three guests? First of all, I want to say thank you to Jennifer for driving out here and being a part of the show. She didn't have to do that. Secondly, we are so, and these guys know it, blessed to have her. Do y'all agree, fellas? Yeah. So, she not only pushes them and encourages them, sets up their schedule, study hall, but she sincerely cares about them. And it's not fake, it's real. So we're just so lucky and blessed to have her. I hope she never leaves while I'm here. And anyway, I just want to say thank you to her because I sincerely appreciate her. I mean that. And also, Jay Wilk and Javier, weren't they well spoken?
They did.
Give it
great,
up for those
man.
two guys
They
as
did
well.
Great.
Javier, you got a new nickname, Javi. All right, Javi? All right. That was, yeah. All right. Fayetteville Tech.
Yep.
Brian Hurd, coach team, is always going to be tough. They're going to play hard. They're going to be well coached. I'm sure right now going to be really hungry. They're so much better than their record. I coached these guys today as hard as I've coached them in a while in practice and preparation because I know it's going to be a war. Almost every game we've played there, except for the one 5 years ago when they kicked our butt, has been close. So we're going to have to play at a high level Wednesday night to get out of there with a win. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's film session and practice and preparation because it's my job to make sure we're well prepared. And Fayetteville Tech's a tough opponent. I don't care what their record is. It's kind of like Carolina Duke. You can throw out the records. It's a rival game, and it's been that way for several years. And Hurd's going to have them ready. He's coached against me all the way back to his Central Carolina days when he was an assistant there. So he seems to find a way to make the games close when he plays Davidson-Davie.
Well, I mean, those guys, a lot better than their record indicates. Like you said, lost a lot of close games, and they've won 2 of their last 3. So
correct.
Yep. All right, so good luck on the road Wednesday night. Do they live stream? Can Storm fans watch that?
They do, and we're going to try to live stream as well. But if for some reason our feed doesn't work and we're not getting internet connection, they will also live stream.
Okay. All right, so in the spirit of family, we've talked a lot about family, always do on this show. Let's talk about some of our Storm alumni that are no longer here but are still continuing with their basketball journey.
Lots of them. I mean, you got Zy Dawkins overseas in Germany, absolutely killing it, averaging around 18.1 points a game. Javion Jones, as you well know, is leading his team in scoring since he's been there in Estonia. And Kyle Ridley's been over there for almost 10 years now playing professionally. David Tripp is back. He's not currently back over there, but he told me that he's in a great spot and a lot of interest in him going back overseas to play. And then you got all kinds of guys playing at 4 years. You got Jonathan Faust playing at Lynchburg, doing really well. They're 9-5, so he's doing well there. Aaron Ross and Keith Reese Jr., of course, at Shawan. and they're killing it, having one of their best seasons they've had in program history. Lenore Ryan's ranked top, I believe, now 10 in the country. I'm not sure exactly what their ranking is, but both Jaheim and Chase are there. And you got Trey and Najee playing at Barton. Mike Wade, as you mentioned earlier, at Montreat. So lots of guys at the next level, 3 overseas playing professionally. It's neat to see these guys having a lot of success beyond Davidson-Davie.
Yeah, Coach, it was fun to see Coach Tripp, a former player and former assistant coach here, go over there. And I think he hit 50-plus in his first game.
Incredible.
Off the plane. So, yeah.
Yep. And when he came back, he was averaging around 25, 26 points a game. So I'm sure there's going to be teams calling.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about, give you a chance to thank some of our sponsors and folks that help us do this kind of stuff. And we couldn't do any of this without the help of sponsors. So I'll give you a chance to thank those guys.
Well, before I thank them, I want to remind our viewers, in junior college basketball in the state of North Carolina, you cannot use any state funds to pay for anything with athletics. From coaches' salaries to referees to hotels to meals to uniforms, on and on and on. So our foundation supports us. And, of course, as the athletic director, I do a lot of fundraising or try to. And so anyone listening that's interested, please give me a call, email, whatever. But we got Todd Hunt, of course, down here at Jerry Hunt Supercenter is our top donor. We got Josh Hill, the Hill Groups, Justin Strickland, who played here, names on the court, Strickland Brothers, Fidelity Bank, Mohawk Industries, and several others. But we also have individuals like yourself, like Manuel Teague and his family. I mean, so many individuals in our community has also written checks out of their pockets. So just so appreciative and grateful for the many, many businesses as well as individuals and families that have donated their time and pocketbooks to this athletic program.
Sometimes before the start of the game, when they run the video stuff on the video board here, after the national anthem, I watched that and I'm like, man, this is just such an awesome experience. So, we thank the sponsors for that, because this is a great experience to actually watch a game or play a game. So.
Well, there's lots of things we have here in place, and I think sometimes in life you don't really know what you have until it's gone. Mm-hmm. And I've had so many former players leave here and go to 4 years and say, man, the experience at Davidson-Davie is as good or better than even at a 4-year. And I think a lot of the donors that have made Brinkley Gym what it is, we have to thank. And, of course, our fans that show up to the games and make the atmosphere what it is. But there's no other junior college on the East Coast that has a digital scoreboard that size that I'm aware of. There's no other Region 10 JUCO that I'm aware of, unless there's somebody out there that I'm not aware of that has some players on NIL deals. There's very few Region 10 opponents, or even in the country, that have ladies that are licensed massage therapists. I mean, I could keep going on and on. We have very few junior colleges that have a Miles Pool that are incredible, not just on game day on the stream, but doing the coaches show. And, you have somebody like Manuel Teague that's donated time for 12, 13 years doing the stats. I could keep going on and on and on. Just so many people that help us create what we've created. And I'm just so blessed to have so many people that give not just money out of their pocket, but time. Yeah,
it's an amazing place, and it's amazing to be part of that. I do want to say, and we were talking about former Storm players and family, I do want to call this out. I'd be remiss if I didn't. Daniel Lawson is watching tonight, and Daniel wanted me to let you know that he and L.J. Rogers won their last rec league game by 60. So he said, don't forget to mention that. So.
Daniel came here from Ledford, and this is an example of how I like to challenge guys. I told him when he agreed to come here that he would probably be a lifetime redshirt, that he may never even dress. And I did that, number one, because I thought it was the truth. Number two, I wanted to challenge him. And Miles, by the end of his first year, he was starting, and he ended up being all-region. And then he went on and played it 4 years. So, that's a young man that accepted the challenge and ran with it and did big-time things while he was here. And he was so fun to coach. So proud of Daniel, what he's doing in his personal life. He's an incredible young man with a great future.
Well, again, next game Wednesday on the road at Fayetteville Tech. Again, game time 7 o'clock. Good luck to you guys down there. Next coaches show February 13th, a Thursday at 7 p.m. right here in Brinkley. We invite you to come out if you want to come out and sit with us and meet the guys in person here. And, of course, I want to thank the great fan base that we've got, all the support. Thanks to you, Coach. Patrick Stevens doing all the engineering work, David Gray doing our camera work tonight, and, of course, Jalen Wilkerson, Javier Ortiz, and Jennifer Campbell. Jennifer, thank you for coming out tonight as well. So
Can I throw you a curveball?
you can.
Can we get the best statistician in the country up here?
Come on up, Manuel.
Come on up, Manuel. Just a few minutes.
Come on, Manuel.
I'm sure he'll appreciate this.
We've had Manuel on the show before.
We have. It's been a while.
It has been. We haven't had him on in maybe 2 years. All right, Manuel. Welcome again to the show. Remind the fans what you do here to support this basketball team.
Play-by-play stat
Yeah, there you go.
with a little help. The man on the camera this year, but I've had probably 6, 7 different ones over the last 12, 13 years, yeah.
So, what's been one of your favorite memories of being around this program?
There's no set thing. I guess probably reaching the nationals for the last 5 seasons is pretty awesome.
I thought you were going to throw in the DJ Suggs 3-point shot against Henry Ford last year. That's been there's been a lot of them though.
Yeah, that one probably back in Justin Glover's days with Maurice Nash and Dion, all them. That was some good stuff.
Now, from a statistician standpoint, you do all the home games. You do the road games too, right?
I don't think I've missed but 2 games in my whole career.
And you have a full-time job outside of that. So, I mean, there's sometimes on road games where you get in 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and you're up probably at 5 o'clock to head off to work.
4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Those make for long days, don't they?
Yeah, I can feel it the next day, yeah.
It's always better with a win, though. You can do that when you come home with a win.
Yeah, it's a lot better, yeah.
So I got to ask you this question because I saw you do this. It may have been the Central Carolina game at halftime. Gave some printed stats out to the coach. I believe it was a printed stat sheet. Is that something that would be available to Kevin and myself on the broadcast?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, all right. I'm trying to help us out a little bit.
Yeah,
I noticed that. I was like, "What's Manuel giving him?"
Yeah, it's not supposed to be for the visiting coach, or the visiting team, but anybody that needs them, I can be more than welcome to.
It would make our broadcast a lot better for sure. So,
all right.
So let me ask you real quick. You've been around this program for a while, like you said. We always talk about the banners hanging in the gym when we're still chasing that national championship. Talk about this team that's sitting here to our right. Where are we at this point of the year? Are you happy with what you're seeing? And what are the things we need to do better to get that national championship?
About like all the other teams, it's just you never get always room to grow. Defensively, offensively. Listen to the coaches. Just do what they say is most important. But whether we're behind 50 or up 50, it don't matter. So playing 40 minutes. I mean, obviously the game against Pitt was a little bit of a letdown, but we're gonna have them nights like that. So.
When you go up that big, when you're up by 18, keep the pedal to the metal. Keep it down, right?
Yeah.
One thing though, I think this team when we get to the national tourney stage, I mean, you got to win 4 games in 5 days, I believe, is how it works, and they're prepared. They're well prepared. They might not realize it, but playing back-to-back games against teams like Montgomery College and Henry Ford, I mean, that's what they're going to be facing in that national championship.
Oh, most certainly. Montgomery, I would not put it past them. We might, it's possible we could see them in Illinois if we make it there, but even Henry Ford. But there's a lot. I just looked at the top 20 today, and there's a bunch of talent.
Oh yeah. Well,
Bunch of
we've climbed the ladder now. We're up to 2,
Yeah,
which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, we made the headlines today. They actually had Davidson-Davie Storms to number 2, so
Okay, all right.
kind of pretty neat.
Well, we appreciate you and all the work you do here and the support that you offer the team, and for coming up here at last minute to do this, Manuel.
All right, then.
Manuel Tig.
All right. That was a curveball for both of you.
It was
Thank you,
curvy.
Miles.
It was. It was good.
Hung in there and hit a home run.
Hey, I got stats now maybe for the half, which would be nice.
That's even better.
It is. All right, so Daniel Lawson just chimes in. Appreciate you, Coach. And Michael Wade back into you, Manuel, said the best stat keeper in the world.
Facts.
Love it. I love it. All right, so any final comments?
I want to say thank you to everybody that makes this happen. Patrick over here comes in the mornings and sets all this up, so he's behind the scenes working for us. He's got a big interview coming up, I believe. And then people like David Gray stepping in. Coach Mullis not here tonight, but, all the people that make tonight happen. And Jared Bowman's not here, but he has a big hand in it as well. And, of course, the voice of the storm,
God.
Miles Poole.
Oh.
You're the man.
Kip Childress is
And
the
you
boy.
and you and
Kip,
you,
yeah.
you on the
Kip's
stream
watching
and
tonight too.
You on the stream, Kip in the gym.
All right. Well, our next coaching show again Thursday the 13th of February, 7 p.m. right here in Brinkley. We want to thank you for tuning us in. Thank our great fan base, Storm fan base, for all their support. And as we like to say, go Storm.
Give it up.